Okay. And I guess I also gave you the example of Corona, that if you are supposed to give a presentation on Corona, you can make it chronological, following the timeline. You can also make it topical, that you talk about the symptom, and then you talk about the spread, and then you talk about the vaccine. So you are not exactly following the timeline, rather you are following small sub-components to present it. So this is what we did about choosing your top points and ordering them. Okay, and then because I have lost my previous chat, I'll present it again. Okay, so this is what I am planning to do. Okay, so about introduce yourself and topic for presentation. I guess I told you that you remember in the month of April I shared you a few videos, audios about on communication skill by Shunita Mishra, and there is one video, or there is one lecture which is how to introduce yourself. Okay, and as I told you that myself Arijita Pradhan is a wrong way of presenting. Okay? It's not grammatically correct. So you can say that I am Arijita Pradhan, you can say this is Arijita Pradhan, you can say my name is Arijita Pradhan, but never myself Arijita Pradhan. That is grammatically wrong. And then you present a topic for presentation. Just give me a minute and I'll just change my location. Hold on. Okay, and yes, and so if you are, say for example, as part of this course, if you are supposed to give a presentation, how will you introduce yourself? You will say, I am Arijita Pradhan, I'm a student of third semester, and I'm giving this presentation as part of course code ASH 302, and my topic is this. So that's how you present your name, your topic, and the occasion of the presentation or the purpose. Because when you say that I'm giving it as a course of 302, it means that it's for evaluation. So that's the purpose. Okay, so the next point is deciding on presentation aids. So what kind of presentation aid do you think we can incorporate? What can we include? That's a kind of support material. Say for example, you are speaking in the throughout the presentation, you are mostly speaking. So along with your speech, what else you can add, or maybe some support material? What are the things you can add? Any idea? Any idea of what are presentation aids? Anyone typing? Not very sure. Okay, so I'll give you, I'm not sure whether you are typing it or not. So, this can be taken as presentation is. One thing is the audio visual aid. Okay, so you are playing one audio visual clip. Okay, so that can be your presentation aid. Say for example, you are giving a presentation on cricket commentary. Okay, how the cricket commentary has changed over the years, how it used to be and how it was a few decades back and how it is now. So you are giving on cricket commentary. So as part of that, you can show one audio visual aid of cricket commentary. Okay, to give them the flavor, okay, how it started and how the language of cricket commentary changed. So to support that, you can give them an audio visual aid. The presentation slides are the PPT slides that you might have seen in many presentations. Okay, so they use the projector to show some slides, and they design the slides. And it can be just one audio clip. Okay, you say, for example, you are giving a presentation in a place where you don't have the screen, where the projector is not there. But then there is something you want to play. Okay, the audio clip is very important for the presentation. So for that, audio clip is something for which you don't need a very strong technical infrastructure. Okay, so you can play the audio clip from your mobile and you can carry a portable Bluetooth speaker. So by that, you are not dependent on the technical support that might not be available in the venue. So audio-visual aid, the application of audio-visual aid is little limited because you have to verify whether the venue has that technical support. Presentation slide also that you need to have a screen, you need to have a projector to use these things. But then audio is something that you probably can manage with a little bit of, there are some gadgets like you can play the audio file through your mobile and then using the Bluetooth speaker to amplify it. And you can play music, you can play sounds, or maybe just a narration of a story. Okay, you say, for example, you want to create the sounds of the birds that they make. So for that, you probably don't need the video. So just the audio file will do. So in that case, you can actually utilize your mobile along with the Bluetooth speaker. Video clips. Okay, it's possible that only the video will suffice. Okay, you don't need audio clip. You want to show the cell division. To show cell division, you don't need audio clip. Okay, only the video clip will do. So you can just show them the video clip. Real object based on the size of the audience, because as I mean, this is something which has some limitation. Okay, if it's a huge audience, you probably can't use this real objects. Real objects, you are showing them the actual objects. Real objects or maybe scaled kind of object, like you are showing them atlas, or maybe you are showing them globe. Okay, so these are kind of scaled objects or maybe real objects. You are actually showing them. Say for example, you are describing a flower, different parts of a flower, and you are actually showing them the flower. You are telling them about the software, and you are actually showing them the software open in your mobile. So that's a kind of real objects. Graphs and charts. Graphs and charts is again, as I told you that many a time this becomes important to show them some changes or maybe some percentage. And if you think that you can't have PPT slide because the screen is not there, you can't use the projector because the technical support is not there, you can actually print those graphs and charts on paper. You must have seen many people presenting with just kind of board kind of thing, holding the board they are presenting. So if you think that there are certain limitations, graphs and charts are certain things which you can just print it on a paper and show it to your audience. But then if you have projector, if you can plan for PPT, you can incorporate those graphs and charts in your slides. Physical objects like the real objects, and computer presentation slide is the same as presentation slide. Okay, and we will learn in detail about presentation slide, how to design them, how many we should have depending on time, what are the things we should keep in mind, what should be the color combination, and all these things we will decide when we talk about delivery. But then these are you can choose your presentation aids from this. Okay, music, all these things. And then I'll move to the next one. Okay, the extension of this one. that computer presentation slide. Okay, so what are the things we should keep in mind when we design the presentation slide? Okay, so the first thing is that how many slides we should have and what are the types of the slides. Okay, when you decide on slide, please keep in mind generally, on average, there is no fixed rule, but then on average, we spend 2 to 3 minutes per slide. Okay, don't overestimate it, because if it's a 10 minutes presentation, maybe you can have 4 to 5 slides, not more than that. Don't prepare 10 slides for 10 minutes presentation. You probably won't be able to cover. So before you start designing your slide, please keep this thing in mind that we generally spend 2 to 3 minutes per slides. So based on that, you can do the time calculation. That if you have 10 minutes, how many slides you can have. And then there are different types of slides. Like in this sequence, we generally add these things. So these are the types of slide we have. First is the title slide. Okay, today in this class itself, I'll show you one PPT, so you will understand that how title slides are done. So title slide is the slide with which we generally we start our presentation. And when you introduce your name, when you introduce your topic, when you talk about the purpose, you remember that's how we introduce, that's how we started. We say that my name is this, I am going to present as part of this, and this is my topic. So all this while, you should have your presentation slide at the back. Okay, because your presentation slide will reflect the same information. So how will it look? How does it look? So on, towards the middle, in the largest font, you have the topic for presentation, and then presented by your name and your relevant details. Okay, if you are presenting as a student, or you are presenting as a resident of your locality, you are presenting as an employee, you are presenting as an intern. So what exactly, I mean, in what capacity you are presenting? So if I am presenting in the class, so I will write, this is my topic for presentation, presented by Arijit Prabha, course instructor, ASH 302, this detail. So it will give these things. And sometimes we also add date, okay, the date of presentation, which is optional. That is the title slide, that is the main slide, that is how we generally open our presentation. And then you have content slide. You know what is content slide? In a book, you have this contents page where on the left-hand side, you have the topics, and on the right-hand side, you have the corresponding page number. Okay, so if you think about the book, your cover page is the title slide. What do you find on the cover page of the book? The name of the book, that is the main topic, isn't it? And then who wrote it, and sometimes the publisher. So the cover of the book is kind of title slide. Okay, and then when you open the book, what comes next? It comes the content slide. So before you start reading the book, you should know what are the things which are covered and in which page. So even in for presentation, we do that. Okay, we present my name, my topic, my purpose, and then there is this content slide. It resembles the contents page of the book. So by showing it, you state that this is the way I am thinking of, and this is the topic I am going to cover, or maybe this is my presentation plan. Say, for example, at the beginning of this class, I said that this is the my post at 2:31. I said that under designing, I am going to present this 7 topics. 4 I have already done, 3 I am going to do. So this is also a kind of content slide. I mean, the kind of content of the content slide. Okay, so you present it that these are the topics, these are the subtopics that I'm going to cover. Why is it important to have, you can come across certain presentation sites where there is some presentations where there is no content slide, but then once you present the content slide, you are actually kind of creating a bridge. Your audience is kind of, they know what is going to come. It's always good to tell your plan. That's way your audience will be kind of prepared that, okay, they will have the route map ready. So generally, when we generally are at the beginning stage of our presentation presenter, okay, maybe the first 6 months or something like that, or maybe the first 1 year, it's good to add your content slide. Okay, it will give you confidence, and your audience will be kind of connected. You know that, okay, this is the roadmap. So it's kind of you and your audience are going to take a journey, and you are presenting the plan. And this is my plan of travel. Okay, so it gives a kind of clarity. It creates a kind of bond. And then after the content slide, it's the body of the presentation. It's kind of the main book, okay, the main page of the book. And then similarly, in a book towards the end, you must have seen that at the end of each book, there is this reference section, okay, where it's mentioned that the books and the title or the article, the author has taken ideas from. So if you are giving a presentation on earthquake, if you are giving a presentation on artificial intelligence, you must have read some books, you must have read some articles, you must have used some internet resources. So here in the reference slide, you list those books, articles, sites where from you have used the knowledge. But then in the reference section, don't just write google.com. Everything is under google.com. Don't just write Wikipedia. Okay, which exact page of Wikipedia? Because Wikipedia is a vague thing. We present reference section as a kind of acknowledgement. See, I have borrowed ideas from this. So it should be very clear. So it's not just Wikipedia. It's one particular page of Wikipedia. Okay, so each page has a number. Say, for example, if I'm presenting on artificial intelligence and I have taken help from Wikipedia, the artificial intelligence page of Wikipedia, how am I going to do it? Yes, wait. So before giving a presentation on artificial intelligence, you studied this Wikipedia page. So instead of just writing Wikipedia, you write this in the chat box. That Wikipedia, I used Wikipedia and this particular page of Wikipedia if you are using internet resources. So it should be very clear. So it's not just google.com, which exact page, which exact site of google.com. Okay, it's not just YouTube. Which specific video of YouTube, which specific lecture of YouTube you use. So this reference section should be always very, very precise. So to get an idea, you can go to the reference section of any book. You will understand that how the details are there. Okay, it's very specific. And then please keep in mind, we spent 2-3 minutes per slide. So based on that, you calculate your slides. And in general, each slide we have 3 to 6 points, maximum 7, not more than that. Okay, so based on that, you can design. So I have this much of time. So if it's a 10 minutes presentation, I can have maybe 5 slides. And the first slide is the title slide, and then the content slide. And then probably I will have 3 main slides, okay, 3 slides. So based on that, and each slide will have 3 to 7 points. So based on that, you can roughly plan your presentation. And yes, the next one is the font color. Okay, we use which is most easy to read, which is most comfortable to the eyes, is the dark letters on light background. Okay, say for example, you can look at this Google Meeting. Okay, you will see that this Google Meet, the window of the Google Meet, the interface of the Google Meet, it has 2 parts. Right hand side, I don't know how you are seeing it in your mobile, but then in my laptop, how am I seeing it? On the right hand side, I have the chat box. And the chat box is dark letters on light background. On the left hand side, I have your pictures and your names written. So the background is black and your names are written in white. So I just share my screen so that it's easier for you to understand how I see it and what's the difference between light on dark and dark on light. Can you see my screen? Anyone? Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see it?
Yes,
Can you,
I can see.
I can't hear for some reason. Can you put it in the chat box, because I can't hear if you are saying. Okay, great. So you can see it. So you can understand. So this on the right hand side, I have the chat box, which is dark letters on light background. And then on the left hand side, I have this light letters on dark background. So your names are written in white and the background is dark. You will understand that the chat box is much easier to read. Initially, you might think that this light letters on dark background is easier to read, or maybe it's appealing. But then, if there are many points, you will understand that this dark on light is always easier. I'll show you a PPT, and you will understand that. I'll give you 2 slides, okay, and you will understand that it's always easier. It's always preferable. Use dark colors on light background, and use colors judiciously. As I told you that a certain color looks very nice on screen, because you are seeing it at maybe 1 or 2 feet distance. But then imagine it's a huge classroom, and the student at the last bench might not be able to see the letters if it's written in green, or maybe if it's written in orange. Okay, you might see it, but then you have to always keep in mind the far away, the students who are sitting far away from you. So use colors judiciously. Don't try to impress your audience by colors. And then about font size. Obviously, the font size is dependent on your audience, but then there is some minimum that you should maintain. Okay, that for heading. Okay, for each, I'll show you PPT, how PPT slides are made. You will see that there is one heading section, and then there is this content section. There is one heading box, and then there is one content box. So for heading, we at least make it 28 points. Okay, otherwise it won't be easy to read. And for main body of it, it's generally 24 points. PTS is points. Okay, that is the size of the font. Once you start using PowerPoint in Microsoft Office in your laptop, it will be easier for you. That you can choose the size of your font. For heading, we generally choose 28 to 30 at least. Okay, if it's a huge audience, we can make it bigger. And bullets means that is the main content, is at least 28, 24 points. But then keep one thing in mind. I guess I mentioned you that if it's a huge audience, the last row is far away from you. In that case, the bottom part of your slide won't be visible. Okay, so in that case, imagine you have 8 points to discuss. Okay, you can't put those 8 points on one slide. You might think that it's visible, but then always keep in mind that the bottom part of the slide is generally not visible from the last bench. Okay, so leave some portion. Don't use till the last. Okay, leave some space. And if you have 8 points, what you can do is that you can write 4 points on one slide, and then in the next slide you can write 4 points, and you can write continued, or maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. So when I go to the second slide, when I see that it's 5, 6, 7, 8, I know that there are already 4 points which are already discussed. So break it. Okay, make it. Don't use till the last point of your slide if it's a big audience. You can do it for 5, 6 people. That's fine. Okay, because as I told you, in 5, 6 people, you generally see very close, so that's fine. And for heading, it's at least 28 to 30 points, and body is 24 points. That's about the size. And font style. Okay, it's same for the CV, it's same for the formal letter. That don't experiment with the font style for presentation, CV or formal letter. Okay, keep it professional. But then one thing is that keep the font style consistent. Like if you are using Times New Roman for body, use Times New Roman for body for all the slides. What happens is that students generally copy their content or heading from internet. Okay, and they copy from site 1, and then they copy from site 2. And in these 2 sites, there are different font styles used, and they forgot to format it. And it happens is that you will see that the first slide is in one font size and in one font style, and the second slide is in another font style. It is not very good thing to do it. Okay, maintain consistency, and it can be done in one click away. And what you can do is that you can probably mix two fonts, like for heading one type of font and for body another type of font. Or maybe you can just use one font style throughout your content. But if you are mixing it, make it one for heading and one for content or something like that. And then comes the special effects. Okay, so before I start discussing special effects, I want to show you what special effects are. Okay, so once you use these PPTs, you are moving from one slide to the other slide, and these special effects are how this slide will appear, or maybe how the letters will appear. Okay, they will drop from the top of the slide like raindrops, or they will just appear like cards. So these are the special effects. We generally tell students not to use special effects too much. Okay, this looks very childish. So I'll show you one PPT that how it looks if you mix font style, or if you use colors too much. My screen. Can you tell me if my screen is visible to you using phone? Because I can't see the chat box. Can you see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So this is the title slide. Okay, that is how title slide is presented. So you can see it. I hope you can see my screen. You will understand. The most part is using towards the top part of the slide. Okay, the bottom part is almost blank, because as I told you that the bottom plus, please keep in mind that the extreme bottom is not visible. So we generally try to keep towards the middle. So in quote, this is the topic for presentation. So here you present your topic, okay, and then presented by, say for example, if I am presenting, I will write my name. If you are presenting, presented by the name of the student. And if you are presenting as a student, then you should always put your roll number, your semester, or maybe part of the course you are presenting. And what's the occasion? Don't write the word occasion. I have written it here. So just write what is the occasion. Is it a seminar presentation, or if it's just a class presentation, or if it's an office presentation. So this is how the title slide will look. Okay, and then this is the content slide. Okay, here also you will see that the bottom part is kind of blank. So this is how you can say that. You can understand that the heading is kind of little bigger than the main writing. Okay, so teaching plan, usage of formal letter, types of formal letter, components of formal letter, and mechanics of writing formal letter. So remember, this is how we discussed formal letter. So this is how I am presenting my teaching plan. So this is the content slide. So this is how your content slide will look. And this is to show you the difference between, so this is the black letters on light screen, and this is the opposite of it. So you can understand the second one is creating little stress on your eyes compared to this one. This one is it's kind of soothing. And this is the opposite of it. It might look little dashing, but then, it's not comfortable for your eyes. And this, as I told you, that it might, you will be able to read it, but when the students